Hi, Holly. Are you girlies ready for some snacks? I brought you some warm milk. I warmed up by the stove. And the last of the Thanksgiving decorations. Ugh, I don't know, I said something else. Hi, Tiddly. All right, girlies. All right, you want your appetizers? Donut. Just get y'all distracted. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. I love these good vitamins. Good vitamins. Ooh. All right, all right. Why'd you move your bucket over here? Hi, Pacific. Hey, Tiddly. You eating your pumpkin? No, I want to go girl. All right, I gotta get this. You guys tore this up. So, for the record, let me just show you this. When you buy one of these at your local farm store, which I hope you're visiting and supporting your local farm store instead of, you know what? I'm okay with them never sponsoring me. Tractor Supply, which is not your local farm store. These seem really tough, like they'll never die. Guess what? These girls, tear them up. All right. You crazy girls. It's one of the things with pigs is they often do things to their own detriment, which I think comes with being so intelligent and curious that they'll just tear stuff up. You put them in a beautiful house, they would eat the walls just to see if they could. Come on, girls. Oh, hi, Holly. Holly's mom was Christmas, and Christmas's mom was Big Squirrel, and Big Squirrel's mama was Cheryl. So she's got the best of the best right here. She's a good girl. All pigs are not the same, and these old breed mixes, I tell you, the more you get to know them, you just see a lot of crazy personality. Pacific, come get some milk. I need you to drink it because this bucket can't take the whole bucket. Come on, Pacific. I warmed it up for you. Come on, girlies. Hi, Donut. Donut's got the big ears. You have the biggest ears, don't you, Donut? The biggest ears and the biggest heart. I think she does. She's the most cuddly pig you ever met. All right, Ocean. Coming around to your left. I don't think she knows left or right yet. Oh, how yummy is that? So this is raw milk from a local farm that raises, they just do show cows. So they're milking, but they don't do anything with the milk. So it was getting dumped over the side of a hill. And now I go pick it up. Have for a while, they're lovely people. So the pigs are drinking milk from, I don't know, a mile away as the crow flies. And it's raw and it's got It's milk straight from the cow, so it's not like the whole milk you get in the store. This has, I don't know, what is it, girls? Closer to like 10% milk fat. So if it cools normally, you get like this much cream on the top. So it's definitely enough energy for these girls, good source of protein, but I make sure they get enough other food. They do get a processed ration, you know, like with the grain and a mineral mix. So they're super healthy. And they have 2.5 acres for the 5 of them. So they have lots of room to go anywhere they want. Look at this, she leans right into me. She loves scratches. Oh, go girl. Yeah, you're not starving, are you, you big girl? Ocean and Pacific, this is ocean right here, is half Ossabaw island hog, which is a Spanish pig. It was on an island off the coast of, I want to say Georgia, so Ossabaw Island, for a couple hundred years by themselves. And they selected for a pig that can just survive off forage. And they put on body fat really, really quickly, which is something they've actually studied because pigs are so close to humans, around diabetes, which I find very interesting. Right, Holly? They studied you? Like Alanis Morissette. But yeah, they're pretty good pigs. Another thing that I found interesting, I had the Nature Conservancy come out and walk the property, is that putting pigs in a space like this, which I have all the invasives, so double flora rose, autumn olive, bittersweet. These pigs will go through and they'll tear all of that up. And then because they're doing basically tilling plus adding nutrients from this end, right girls? And turn it back into good nitrogen, the natives come back really, really strong. So when I got here, there was very little Joe Pye weed. Beautiful flowers, the bees love it. It was mostly Phragmites, which is the really tall grasses you see around like water collection places near the highway. And no cattails. And now I have cattails all over the place. Joe Pye weed just goes nuts everywhere. I don't know, it would be interesting to, I can't do a test here because the Japanese knotweed that I have is right up by the road, which is what happens because they mow and they're moving dirt and it just grows everywhere. But pressure from pigs, I think would actually take out knotweed because they'll go in, they'll eat it, they'll turn the dirt, and then as new sprouts come up from those bits of roots, which typically tearing it up is a terrible thing to do because that just propagates more knotweed, these girls will happily eat it and stay on top of it until it's gone. So, if you know of somebody who's got a patch of knotweed that they'd like to try this on next summer, Holly would love to be part of this study, huh? Because right now, the approved method for killing knotweed in Phragmites is volunteers in their cute little outfits that go out with Roundup. And I'm not here to talk about glyphosate and all that. But right now, the only solution is a chemical solution. And I think we have an animal solution right here. Once trained, once they understand how a fence works, they stay clear of them. It's totally psychological, right? You stay inside your fence. So it would be pretty simple to set up. The knotweed I have, as I said, is right by the road. And it is in the next town over, which has a bylaw that requires you to have, shout out to Chester, Massachusetts, the gem of the valley. They love everything as long as it doesn't involve change or pigs. Town bylaw says that if you're going to have pigs, they have to be 500 feet from a property line. So what does that work out to? I was homeschooled, so forgive me. A pig pen on the inside of a 25-acre circle. You had a little circle, like a 100-foot circle. In 25 acres, you could have pigs there in Chester. So I am unable to use a non-chemical method for removing invasive plants in that town because I'm not allowed to have pigs near the road. Fencing doesn't matter. It's just it's very old way of not a very old way, I'd say a 50-year-old way of thinking about pigs, which is they are, and it's been shown in movies a lot, that they're mean, they want to eat you, and that they're destructive, which it's just energy that can be directed in productive ways if you know how to work with them. So in this case, these guys knock down everything before it froze, and then as it comes up in the spring, so double floral rose is one of the first things to come up in the spring. If you've encountered it, it's unforgettable. It's the stuff that gets multi-stemmed, giant thorns on really thick canes, but it's one of the first things to come up in the spring, and these pigs go right to it and say, thank you for the snack. And they'll tear it out by the roots and eat the roots. Won't ya? Won't ya? This is my good donut. Why did I name you Donut? Look at these big, beautiful ears. Are you the most peaceful girl, Donut? You are the most peaceful. As you can see, she's clearly waiting for her chance to devour me. The only bites I've gotten from pigs is from either pushing up on a protective mother, in which case they mostly do the nose first, or they like to, for whatever reason, chew on my shoes. But otherwise, once you see how pigs communicate with each other even, so they do respond to vocal commands. They're really smart, have really good memories, and they'll bump into each other. So you don't have to zap them or anything. You just give them a little knee and they'll move. So if I bumped her with my knee in the side, she'd step over, right? Because I'm the big pig, as my nephew says. I'm the king of the pigs. He said that once I told him about how size is a big deal for pigs. Weirdly, it is for humans too. Hi, Holly. Were you missing out? Were you missing out? I know. You got a lot to say, don't you? Let me get that out of your eyelashes. Look at those beautiful long eyelashes. It's a sweet girl. But they bump each other, which is a easy way to make your feelings clear. Holly, there's lots of milk over there too. There's a whole bucket. There's a whole bucket. All right. Well, drink it before it freezes. I will get you guys a little bit more straw just so you can be comfy. And we'll rock and roll from there, okay? Bye, Donut. These houses were actually protective domes for radar equipment on naval vessels. These are from a DoD contractor, and these were seconds that had little mistakes, I guess. Really heavy plastic, just cut holes in the sides. And the curved area is nice for their little, they love it. Their little pig piles, they hop in and out. They were great for when moms were having babies, so long as I didn't have 3 pigs try to have their babies in the same house. And that got a little too crowded, but that's my pig talk for the day. It's beautiful out. Baby, it's cold outside. And I'm gonna keep moving on. I have to figure out where I want to put some things. The ground's legitimately too frozen to be moving dirt around, but you'd be amazed what you can do when you set your mind to it. So I'll go. All right, grab the buckets. And let me see. Hello. Hello, hello. I'm gonna show you some other stuff. Some firewood we gotta split. By we, I mean me, and I just have a joke about a little guy who lives in my head who actually makes the smart decisions. To the point where when I got stuck the other day with my skid steer, the neighbor who came over to help me out, because it was a real predicament. He texted me after I sent him an SOS. I was like, hey, did the little guy tell you to do it? Because he knows. So there's the pup and goat's pen. They have about 2.5 acres as well, interestingly enough. This is what happened after I dug it all out, moved the big pine trees. It's not a perfect retaining wall, but I think it'll work. And you know what? Shout out to me for getting that level of wall in the dark with frozen ground and just a skid steer and a grapple, okay? Yeah. Shout out to me on that. There's some nice spots. I'll pack compost into them, and we'll get some nice flowers going, just to spice it up. Here's my gravel pit. Just kidding. It was supposed to be a pond extension, but I ran out of warm weather. I also like to run out of warm weather. It's cold outside. So in terms of my skill improvement, so this wall, also done with the skid steer, also done partly in the dark. It's clearly not completed. It needs to go all the way around where that little shed frame is. But this was with warm weather. So I think my skills have improved, because with weirder rocks and much harsher conditions, I think we're about the same quality level. Moved all that dirt. So now I can move the chicken houses down and make some room. Speaking of the chickens, I have to get their water refilled, and it looks like the leghorns just knocked over their feeder. So I'm gonna go take care of that. That's a completely different video. All right, have a day.